Mayor Jacob Frey joins us tonight from Minneapolis. Mayor Frey, we thank you for joining the show, and I am sorry it is under, once again, these horrific circumstances. You've been very vocal against the ICE operations in your city. I want to play a little bit of what you said about the incident today. Let's play it.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is.
So, Mayor, after seeing multiple angles now of that video, do you stand by what you said earlier?
Of course, I stand by what I said. I won't preempt the investigation that is presently underway, as the state has said that the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension will be helping to investigate this case. But look, I got two eyes. All of you do too. And you can see for yourself what happened was reckless. And by the way, entirely predictable, because we have been saying, the chief and I, vocally for, I don't know, over a month, that somebody was going to get hurt or killed, whether that was a civilian, a police officer, a federal agent. When you deploy, in this case, thousands of agents to Minneapolis, to our state, with no clear plan, that don't understand constitutional law, that clearly can't even drive in the snow that well, yeah, you're going to get problems. And then when they treat people the way they've been treating them, and by the way, this is not like the first instance of horrific treatment. They were dragging a pregnant woman through the snow. We've seen them indiscriminately pulling Latino and Somali people off the street. That is not the way we behave in America. In Minneapolis, we're going to stand up for our community. And tragically, this instance of reckless federal behavior, again, has resulted in somebody getting killed.
Mayor, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem just spoke. I want to play some of that sound and get your reaction on the other side. Here's what she had to say.
The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training to save his own life and that of his colleagues. He was treated at a local hospital, has been released, and is now with family.
Mayor, what do you say to that?
That does not sound to me like a person that believes what they are saying. I think she also mentioned that there was some form of, this was domestic terrorism that the victim was involved in. That would be the first instance of domestic terrorism that involved like a 4-point turn, that the victim was clearly trying to leave the situation and get out of there. And by the way, leaving a situation and getting out of there is neither domestic terrorism, nor is it trying to ram a federal agent. It's trying to leave. None of that, by the way, can justify use of deadly force under the law. You don't need a law degree to know that.
The governor mentioned earlier that he thought federal agents should have done more to help this woman. In the first video, the original video that has been put out there, you don't see agents, and obviously they had just been shot at. It was a traumatic scene, but you don't see any first aid immediately being administered. Did that trouble you? Did you notice that from the videos?
So I don't know that I've seen that exact video. I certainly have heard about it. And yeah, you know, one of the responsibilities, a duty of a law enforcement entity, is to make sure that people aren't killed. And so even if that individual was the one who shot, first aid should be administered in the immediacy. You know, our police officers got there, and 2 of them were in the ambulance driving down to help as soon as they can and going to the hospital. And, you know, that's what they need to be doing. But no, from what I have seen in these videos, this is not an example of what any officer of the law should be doing.
People are going to be watching this video and they're going to say to themselves, you know, there's two sides, right? The side we're hearing from you and the side we're hearing from Kristi Noem. And they're going to say, listen, that officer was in front of the car. It looked like the woman was accelerating. She shouldn't have done that. Law enforcement training says that's a lethal weapon. You can use force. My question to you, though, what people don't understand, the context, and I'm not saying this is an excuse or a reason for any of this violence, but the temperature right now in Minneapolis, it's winter, but it is incredibly hot. How would you describe that to other Americans? Because your own governor was asked, is the state of Minnesota at war with the federal government? And that sort of stunned me that question could even be asked in 2026. But is that what the feeling is like over there?
Well, I'll tell you what the feeling is. And the feeling is that in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, we are going to rise above. we are going to be our best versions of self. We're going to be wrapping our arms around this family because obviously they are suffering. We're going to be standing up rock solid for our immigrant neighbors because they are getting targeted and attacked. And we're not going to take the bait. We know that the Trump administration is looking for any excuse to come in and deploy a whole bunch of military and occupying force on Minnesota and Minneapolis that we know would be even more devastating for these very communities. And so we're going to be doing this right. We're going to meet a lot of hatred and divisiveness with love and unity. We're going to see all that the Trump administration is doing here, but then we're going to show our own brand of who we are as Americans, of who we are here in Minneapolis. We want to be an example for others to follow because, again, we need the entire country standing up to say that this isn't okay. You know, it's this horrific killing that is not okay. It's also the fact that they are indiscriminately pulling Latino and Somali people off the street a whole lot of the time, and that is not how we work under our Constitution. The endurance of our republic depends on this.
Look, Mayor, I don't have your job. I don't know what you're going through day in, day out. I hear you talk about love as well, but I also heard something very real in your voice when you told ICE, get the F out. Do you still stand by that?
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course I stand by that. I mean, you know, I'm sorry to any of those that have these Disney princess ears that are totally offended, but I mean, for those that are saying that's inflammatory, the F-bomb is inflammatory, you know, if I'm going whether the F-bomb is the inflammatory piece here or the killing of a civilian, I think it's the killing of the civilian. That's the real inflammatory piece here. And, you know, yeah, I'm frustrated. We said it. I stand by it.
When ICE comes to your city, and there's more than 1,000 agents now in your state, do they tell your local police officers? Do they call your office? Do they say, hey, we're going to be here just so you know our agents are here? They're not going to be in marked vehicles. I mean, is there any communication?
No, man. No. We've said very clearly that we will not coordinate with any federal agency around immigration enforcement work. And so, no, they don't tell us when, where, how.
But when you say we won't coordinate, if they were to call you, you wouldn't even take that call, Mayor? When you say we won't coordinate, if they were to call you, you wouldn't even take the call?
Well, if they're going to call me and say we're coming in, obviously I'll take the information up, but we won't coordinate with them.
Where does your city go from here?
We go where we always go, up and forward. Look, Minneapolis, our whole country, has been through a lot over these last 5 years. We've had a series of turning points, and I think this is a particularly potent one, where, again, we can meet a lot of the hatred that we are seeing from this federal administration and the way they're conducting themselves with some truth, with some honesty, with some justice, and then a lot of compassion and love. That's where our city is standing.
Finally, what's your message tonight to President Trump and his supporters who said he campaigned on this, he said he was going to do this, and he won an election?
Well, look, winning an election does not mean that you get to violate the Constitution. Any Democrat, any Republican, certainly any professor of constitutional law should understand that a lot of the things that are going down right now are not okay. I mean, there's such a muzzle velocity of actions that are taking place that there's litigation that's trying to keep up with it. My message to President Trump is the same message that we delivered earlier today, which is get ICE out of this city. Look, we have done a lot of the work over the last several years to drive down crime. We've worked with our police officers. We've worked with the U.S. Attorney's Office. And right now, crime is dropping in virtually every category, in virtually every neighborhood. That is important work. But what is clear is that the actions that ICE is taking is not about keeping people safe. It's about terrorizing communities. It's about ripping families apart. It's about eating away at the very fabric that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and America, America. We got to stand up for the endurance of this republic right now. And for anybody that's watching, you're part of this too. You can be part of this movement to have this kind of thing stop from happening.
Mayor, just before we go, we're getting some new information now. We know that the woman who was shot and killed, 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, have you been able to talk to her family by any chance? And can you make a promise here that this shooting will be fully investigated?
Yes, this shooting needs to be fully investigated. I know that I've heard from the state that the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension will be involved, and I think that's the right thing. I'm so sorry to this family. No, I have not talked with them yet. I need to. I know that my staff is working on getting the contact and everything. And, I mean, look, nothing that I can say here over the airways is going to be even remotely helpful, but we're with them. We're with them. We stand with them. We stand with this city. Let us all stand together.
Mayor Jacob Frey, we thank you for your time. We know this is a very difficult day, so we appreciate you coming on.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.